Hey guys, this is a new video. Finally, I've actually pulled my finger out and decided to do something about it. I've been playing a lot of PvP recently. I've actually run my own tournament. I say my own tournament. It was for my community on Ring of Fire. It went really well. We got some great footage. The issue was that when I started putting it all together, it corrupted, unfortunately. So pretty much that footage is non-existent, and why there has been a massive gap in my videos recently. I also entered with my team the Tournament of Legends on the EU side. It didn't go too well, but we didn't do too badly either. I mean, we figured out where we need to go, what we did wrong, and what we need to improve on. So hopefully I'll be doing some more PvP footage in the future. The Ring of Fire community is actually going to be hosting more PvP tournaments, so if anyone is interested in that, I mean, get yourself over to our server, pretty much. So let's start by bringing you what this video is all about. This video is going to be my money saving tips for you for all the build videos that I'm going to be bringing out. It's a general money saving tip. The first money saving tip is going to be, because I've been doing it a lot, PvP. Playing PvP at the moment is very, very profitable. You get 30 silver a win if you're playing on team, and team is the way forward. Team arenas, you just need 4 other people. You can queue, you don't even need 4 people, you can join in on your own, but having 4 friends makes it that much more enjoyable. You can chat as much as you want while you're doing it. The reason that it's so good at the moment is these reward tracks. I've unlocked a few of them by doing the dungeons. You can do the same, but each one of these takes not that long to get, actually. I think it's about 5 games if you win them all, 8 if you lose, pretty much. So it works out that it takes you 40 to get all the way up to the final tier. 40 games of PvP, where if you work that out, that's quite a bit of gold, actually. I mean, that's nearly 12 gold, I think. If my maths is right, it's probably wrong. It might be 1.2 gold, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's 12 gold. Anywho, I'm rambling. The Twilight armor boxes. Now, that's a really great way of farming out the dungeons themselves, because I find that the dungeons can get quite boring and you're limited to them. If you're looking for a specific dungeon, it's a really good way of doing it. Also, you do get other things as well. So you get all tokens from these chests. You get champion bags. You get mystic clovers as well for when you finish them. You get some fantastic stuff when you finally finish these tiers. I've recently finished the Crichton one, as you can see. I got Obi shards, mystic clovers, dragonite ore, and some unique skins. These are all something that you can choose. Same with the Twilight Arbor, but it gives you a completely different aspects to playing the game. Also means you can try out new classes and new builds and new characters quite effectively, because when you go into PvP, you get leveled up to 80, so you can make a brand new character that you want to try out in PvP, do the opening zone, and straight in, and you're still making rewards. So it's a great way of saving you money and earning some gold as well. The next tip that I'll give you is running fractals for these bad boys, the rings. Now that they're account bound, it's really, really worthwhile doing it. If you head in, you can get a ring in 3 days, which isn't bad, and those rings you get to choose. Obviously, you have 9 attempts as well at getting a random drop, and once you've got that random drop, you don't have to buy it. My advice is to get as many as you can, possibly buy a new bank tab as well. A lot of people say that's funding ArenaNet and it's pay to win, you know, standard Guild Wars rubbish. But what you want to do is you want to get that, buy yourself a bank tab and just keep all your rings in there. You'll find that certain characters want certain rings all the time anyway, and you might get duplicates. That's something that can happen, and you can leave those on those characters. But if you have a pool of rings that you can go to in the game and just pick out and make any build you want, it's a really good way of doing it. Same with back pieces as well. Back pieces are quite easy to make. Once you get running in fractals, you can get your ascended stuff up, and then you can make a set for all your characters, because you're only ever going to be playing one character at a time. They're all account bound, so pretty much if you can get the full set of every stat, you can have any build you want and play any character you want. On that basis as well, I would suggest that you make weapons, not armor. Armor's a bit expensive to make, but certain weapons, if you're playing a class that shares them, works really well. It's another good way of getting yourself a set of gear that goes in. That one's a bit more difficult, but you can actually make it through going into fractals. Fractals also has a chance at getting weapons and gear and armor, so pretty much ascended gear is the way forward for you trying out new builds. I would start with Celestial. Although it won't give you the best damage, it won't give you the best of anything, it does mean that you can try a lot of builds quite effectively to see if you like them, and then amp them up the way you want them to. So for example, I'm running Celestial Nades at the moment because I think that's fantastic, but you could also find that if you want to, power, precision, condition damage also works really well for nades. Power, vitality, condition damage works really well. You can get all sorts of mixes that will work really well, but you get to choose because you've got the set standard of gear that you want for trying every build. Obviously, after a while, you start going into specific. Like I've got some druids, power, toughness, healing power, which is cleric's gear, and I use that for my current bomb build for World vs World. It's a healing build, but it just means I can switch out, and if I want to go do the same thing on my Ellie and do staff support, I've still got those two rings, don't have to buy any more of these sapphire amulets and leave them locked to my character. So next thing as well is I would do your daily every day, because you want laurels, and then use the laurels to buy amulets. Same reason you buy rings. You only need probably about 4 or 5, and you can have enough to set up all your characters for the rest of eternity, and then you can save your laurels for whatever you want. Another tip as well on the ascended basis is guild missions. Guild missions are a fantastic way of earning yourself some accessories. Once you've got the accessories as well, with all the gold you've been making from fractals, PvP, dungeon running, and getting those rares from your guild missions, you could quite happily afford all of the accessories, and that is, in my opinion, the most efficient way of doing it. Find yourself a guild that runs guild missions. My guild runs them on a Sunday, but you'll find that due to mega servers now, there'll be lots of guilds running them all the time, and all you have to do is ask for an invite, and they're 9 times out of 10 they're more than happy to oblige. You help them out, getting them their merits, and you get your commendations, and away you go. So get in on guild missions. So pretty much for Ascended, make sure you can fill all of this slot with Ascended gear. If you can do that, you've set yourself up for every character in the game, and you will set yourself up eventually for any build that you could possibly think of and make it efficient for you. The next tip is going to be join World vs World. At the moment, World vs World is very profitable. It doesn't even matter if your server's good or not. As long as you can get in and keep ranking up, keep doing what you're supposed to be doing, getting involved in Zergs, you will start making gold. It's a really simple way, and you get your chance at Ascended gear, and you get your way to go forward. So Is another tip for just getting that ascender gear that you need. Get as much ascender gear as you can, because like I said, it's the best way to get everything that you need together to start doing all the builds that I'm going to be showing you, and any little tweak that you want to do you can make, because you will be building up everything for that build. I mean, if you've got a set of Rabbids, set of Zerkers, set of Assassins, anything, Clerics, you can put it into any build and you can make it effective, mix and match. The next thing obviously is going to be, how do you save money on armor? Now, armor's a funny one. Until you want to lock yourself into it, exotic and ascended might be out of your reach. Most people can reach exotic quite happily. Ascended is a ridiculous amount of gold for a very small increase, so not many people will go for it. But that being said, you don't have to go all the way up to exotic straight away, depending on what you want. If you want celestial, unfortunately you've got to go at least to exotic level before you can get it. But if you want, say, knight's gear, all you have to do is get the rare version of it and you will still be effective in the area you want to go into. All the dungeons are designed that way, that you can do it in rare gear. There's nothing to say that you need exotic, because if you needed higher than exotic, the rewards for those dungeons would be higher than exotic. So anyone that says, oh, you need to have full gear, blah, blah, is probably being a bit of an elitist, and you probably don't want to be in their group as much as they don't want you. At the end of the day, dungeons should be fun, should be easy, but again, that's why we go back to the PvP thing of, in PvP, you can do what you want to do. You can pick the dungeon and all you have to do is do the story mode, and most story modes at the moment you can solo, or you can find a group of 5 people that want to do it for the same reason you do. In fact, take your PvP team. If you take your PvP team, in one day you can whack out all the dungeon story modes, get them done, and then you are ready to start getting in on all the cool builds that I'm going to be delivering to you over the next few weeks. I'm going to be starting off with the engineer, then possibly moving to the Ellie or warrior, and then from then on I'll be trying to work through every class and finding good effective builds for you so you can try out all the classes, both for PvP and PvE, and even some world versus world. I'm finding at the moment that if you can find a decent PvP build, you've got a decent world v world build. Most people say no, that's rubbish because XYZ, but it's going to be the way to go in my opinion. Also, I'll be giving you tips in each build about what gear you need to get to, what level you can go up to and still be effective, and what level you can drop down to. So some people want to have that min-max build and be willing to spend hundreds and thousands of gold on getting the best runes for their gear and sigils. But sometimes you'll realise that although perplexity and tormenting might be the best of the best, you can still do a hell of a lot with crate runes and they will go down to half the price. Strength runes might be the strongest at the moment, but you know, you can find that privateer runes will be doing exactly the same thing. So that's what I'll be bringing to you. So thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm glad to be back. I hope you're glad I'm back. So please like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends, let them know what's going on, and I will speak to you all later.